Good evening, everyone. How are you doing? Good evening, everyone. I hope you are doing great. Let's look at good evening, Arpita, Deep, Karuna, Nilesh, Parshuram, Shekhar, Sudarshan, Vanamala, and Vandana. Yeah. Good evening. Nice to see you, Karuna. All right. Good evening, Shubro. Shekhar, good evening. How are you doing today? Awesome. Okay, Vanmala is teaching UPSC aspirants. Okay. Yeah, great. Good to know that. Okay, I just converted the meeting to webinar to a meeting format. Let's wait for people to join in. In the meantime, those who are already there, maybe you would want to share what is it that you do and where are you from? Where are you from and what is it that you do? Type in the chat box. You can put on your video, and if anyone would like to speak, I will open up. I will open up that, so we stick to. Otherwise, we will 15-20 minutes would go in that. Later at the end of the session, probably it makes sense to get people come on video, share what you do. In the meantime, while we are still settling down, today is the first day, so welcome everyone to Knowledge Digitization and Monetization Business Model. And I look forward to empowering you with a lot of powerful strategies, insights, deep insights, wisdom that will cut short your learning curve drastically. Okay. So, how many of you are interested to learn how to convert your knowledge into a full fledged, serious business? Okay, Karuna is interested. Beautiful. Shubro, yeah. So Karuna is from Pune. Yogesh is interested. Vanamala is interested. Great. Sudarshan is from Chennai and he's doing some consulting for MSME. That's great. Okay, kindly change your chat settings to everyone so everyone can see. Do I have some people in the waiting room still? Let me check that out. Not yet.
No, I'm taking care of that.
All right, awesome, awesome. Nice to see you guys, Deep, Bhatia, Pushpa. Okay, that's why you are here, exactly. So Shubha says, perfect, right? So, shall we start? Let's get started. Excited? So, okay, before that, I want to ask you, how many of you are operating offline right now? You have been operating your business offline? And how many of you are offline? Vandana is operating offline. Sanjay Nehre is from Ahmednagar. Welcome. Okay, Parshuram, you're operating offline or you're raising your hand, you have a question. We'll hold on to all your questions, all your challenges for a while, for some time. It would be great if you type in the chat box. Okay, partially offline and partially online. Beautiful. Okay, so now my question is, do you want to shift from offline to online? Do you want to shift from offline to online? Or do you want to have a hybrid of offline and online? Or do you want to completely be online, right? So offline completely, online completely, or a hybrid of offline and online? Online completely. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, offline, you can actually make your offline offerings a little premium once you have gone online completely. So by the time the world is recovering and the offline world starts full-fledgedly, if you create enough online presence, okay, enough online credibility, okay, you have acquired enough digital estate, you have built enough digital assets, then in your offline programs, you could charge a little premium than whatever you have been charging before, prior to COVID lockdown. Okay, makes sense, right? So for the time being, let's go online. And later when the world opens up, let's be also open to offline ways, but then we should leverage on the online business that we have built with our knowledge and expertise. Make sense? All right, so let's get started. Completely online. I love that. Okay, so online business. No office, no deposit, no rentals, no employees. Okay, no managing employees. Okay, okay, no managing team issues. Okay, just you, your laptop, a great internet connection, and a handful of useful digital systems and tools which become your employees. You would not find those kind of employees at that monthly cost. The tools are generally, they come below $100 a month, which is 7,500, 8,000 bucks. Okay, but they become your employees. Okay, so you don't need to train them, you need to get trained to be able to use them. Okay, so there's very powerful stuff coming up, guys. We have not even warmed up and I'm talking much advanced stage, but let's get started because this is I love exploring and experimenting. I've changed my format the way earlier I used to do. So today my agenda is, I was conducting 5 days classes. I've made it to 3 days. So uh, the agenda of day one is, getting to know each other, and then helping you identify and discover your challenges, why you should be in the knowledge business, and how is it a very lucrative business model, and what are some of the things that you need to work upon, what are the skills you need to acquire. We will look at that. Day one, and digitalization, what it takes to digitalize. Today we will cover that. Tomorrow we will be looking at monetization, right? Some of the powerful monetization strategies. And on day three, we will be looking at the marketing, what it takes to create a serious business out of your knowledge, expertise, and the products that you're trying to build. Right? So these are the three stages of the knowledge business. First stage is the digitalization. We will cover that today. Second stage is monetization, because from my past experience, I realized that all of us have limited resources. And it's important that what you do with what you have, and making smart decisions and choices with respect to your time, your money, your resources, your energies, whatever it is, right? So when I started this journey 3 years back, especially for creating a personal brand, when I wanted to be a speaker, I ended up learning many digital systems and tools. I ended up spending a lot of money on learning the language of the digital world. More than 20 lakhs I have invested in my learnings and application of those learnings in the past 3 years, since I would say September 2017. Okay. So I realized now, after so much of energy, time, resources gone into it, I realized that this could be more structured, and that's what I want to help you guys with. And this is the structure I am giving you. That first stage is digitalization, which is totally in your control, and you can do this first. Monetization is making some money out of the products that you have created, so that you see some money first. And then when you are seeing some money, you have some cash flow now, and things are working for you, and you're getting the necessary profits, you're able to give some gains to your target audience. Then it makes sense to reinvest what you are earning into scaling your business, into doing the necessary marketing setup that you need. Because at that stage, you will need funds to invest in digital systems and tool. You will need funds to promote your offerings. And that will be the number one, I will not call it an expense, the investment that you will need to be doing in your business. Well, all your money will go in your own marketing. It is not going to anyone else. Make sense? So guys, great to know those who have joined in. Maybe you in the chat box you can start sharing who you are, what do you do, what's your business, and where are you from. So by that time, I will just get going with today's session. And I just want to make some announcements. Just give me a moment, guys. So every day, we for the coming days, our session will happen at 7 p.m. The link will remain the same. The link to join remains the same. I have opened up the WhatsApp group for communication. Okay. Please make sure that we communicate only things which are relevant to this course and this program. You can post your assignments. And may I also have an ask? Do all of you agree that this is a learning space? It's a sacred learning space. We all have created together. So is it okay if you don't promote your products or services, your websites, your YouTube links, so that we stay focused? Do I have your agreement on this? Do I have your agreement in the chat box? Can we stay focused? This is a sacred learning space, and I'm okay for you guys to talk what you do, and if you can make some connections here, I have no issues with that. But can we do it outside the scope of this program? I am actually organizing a session called Gupshup session. Okay. After we finish this Saturday, and I'm little occupied, so maybe on Sunday also I'm little occupied. So maybe let us see when we can do in the evening, if we can do a Gupshup session on Saturday around 5 p.m. So that is the space where you guys can come and express what you want to express, because I just want to keep everything very focused to learnings. And then a Gupshup session will happen on Saturday evening. I will share the details, and those who want to join and you want to talk what you do and whatever you want to share, which is casual sharings outside this platform. Thank you so much. So I have agreement from Vandana, Deep, Preetbala, Karuna, Shiba. Awesome. Thank you so much. Shiba is from Gurgaon and she's planning to open a restaurant. Great. Hacha. So irrespective of whether you want to convert your knowledge into digital courses, okay, because in the past I have business owners who come to learn marketing, okay, marketing strategies. So even if you are a business owner who has some physical product or services to sell, okay, this program is definitely valid for you as well, because throughout these 3 days, I'm going to be teaching you powerful entrepreneurial skills, which the value communication that you need to do for your business, whatever business you are in, okay, and for knowledge givers, how you can create your own products, digital products, right? So irrespective of whether you have a product, digital product right now or not, or irrespective of whether you want to digitize your knowledge or not, this program is good to go for all entrepreneurs who want to express their business in a language that the online world understands. Okay. So yeah, I have not been addressing this in the past. So there are some business owners, we have a baker, we have somebody in interior designing. So it's your products, or it could be physical product, it could be digital product, it could be someone else's product that you want to promote. And you can be in any services. You could be running a salon, or you are in AC repair services, or whatever, your housekeeping services, security services, or digital marketing services for businesses, lead generation, content writing services, whatever work you do as a profession for your livelihood, the content that I'm going to be sharing with you is relevant to most of you, except if you have not thought about digitizing your knowledge and creating a product. That is the piece which is specifically for knowledge givers. Okay. How to record and publish your courses, how to create the content bank, how to structure your content, how to publish it, how to have how to create relevant content, and how to build your influence online. Make sense? Yes. Pushpa is working in industrial automation segment. Want more knowledge on digitization. All right, guys. So I think I've set the context. So the daily Zoom link remains the same. Recordings of the program will be shared. It will be uploaded in YouTube. Okay, you can watch them later as well, and it will be available till Sunday 4 p.m. Okay, available till Sunday 4 p.m. Then no, make sure that WhatsApp group is used for submitting assignments and asking your questions. Okay, and what else? That's all right, so let's get started. Okay, so yeah, so there are 3 stages of knowledge business, right? Now see, generally what you the four immediate action steps, the four immediate action steps would be deciding the product or service that you would like to digitalize. What is it that you want to digitalize? Okay, so for knowledge givers, my question to you is, what is the course that you would like to create? Okay, so I want you to make a list of all the courses that you think you have to offer and you want to digitalize. You want to create pre-recorded courses. So this is for knowledge givers. Okay, for business owners, if you are in multiple products, okay, I would want you to identify which is that one product that you would like to sell using the online platform. Okay, so whatever this first stage is, deciding your course or deciding the product or services amongst your offering that you would like to uh, promote, okay, that you would like to promote using the online world. Okay, so yeah, so I hope you guys you may just want to share what are the courses that you would like to. Career development, all right, Vandana is in career development, Dipti is in counseling business, and also in printers, repairs, and selling businesses. Great, so you can apply all these learnings across all your businesses. Okay, and counseling, how you can convert it into a how you can stack your products, your digital products, your knowledge based products is what you are going to learn. Nilesh is in health and wellness. Awesome, right? So the first, so there are 4 steps to, digitalizing your knowledge or your products or services. Decide that one product. Okay, then you will have to create your online presence, or you will have to record your video. If you are a knowledge giver, record your video. If you have physical products and services, you will be creating your online presence. And how to create that online presence across these 3 days, you will come to know. Okay, and then if you are a knowledge giver, once you have decided your course, you have recorded your course, it's time to publish your course. Where? On common platforms. It could be Udemy, it could be your YouTube, it could be Coursera, it could be Skillshare. These are the platforms where you can upload your product, but you are leaving it up to someone else to market your product. And you are also the incoming is also being shared. Okay, which I generally don't recommend. I want you to create your own business. I want you to own those products. I want you to market your own products. Okay, so publish on a common platform. It could be YouTube, it could be Vimeo, it could be the popular learning platforms, or your own learning management hub. It's called the LMS. Okay, so once you have published it there, then it is time to promote, right? Because how do you make money? How does any business make money? So when someone is asking you what's your business model, they are basically asking you is, how do you make money? How do you make money, right? So how do people make money? There is a product or a service which someone needs, and when you are providing that product or service, in exchange people give you money, right? So physical products, physical other services, it is visible, but knowledge business, that is why you have to convert your knowledge into digital products, right? So I have created a 11P system. It's called a 11P system for your entire knowledge business model, and I'll be covering them gradually. So what will you learn across 3 days? You will learn how to create a winning and successful knowledge-based business from your expertise, from your experience. And I call it the new age business model. Okay, you will learn the what, why, and how of starting, sustaining, and scaling your knowledge based business. Okay, you will acquire some powerful entrepreneurship skills, uh, mindsets of world class entrepreneurs, and also learn. You will also get. You will learn powerful in-trend global strategies for growth. You will learn the language of the digital world, which is 5 pillars of digital marketing and 8 pieces of the digital puzzle. You will also learn what it takes to go online and grow online. You will also know what are the must have digital systems and tools. You will also know what are the high income skills you need to acquire right now. You will also get strategies to build your influence. You will also learn value communication, expressing your business better. You will also get personal clarity and how to position your offerings uniquely in the marketplace, right? You will be able to identify your exact growth blockers and what are the next immediate action steps that you must take now, right? You will also be able to create high converting relevant course content, a profit making course. Okay, you will also learn in monetization strategies how to generate leads organically without spending a lot of money on marketing. And knowledge givers will also learn to structure your content, because this is one of the pain areas of knowledge giver, that I have so much to offer. How much should I offer at what stage? So you will learn that, and you will be able to create some digital assets. You will also be able to identify how to stack your products, how to price your products, right? And most importantly, what is the market potential of your digital product? If you want to digitize your knowledge, what is the market potential, what is the market size that we are talking about, right? So that is what is going to be your learnings across 3 days. Are you super excited? Is that what you want to learn? Did I miss anything that you want to learn? Is there anything that I missed that you want to learn and I have not covered? Is it what your expectations are? Anything that you came for which I have not covered so far, what you are going to learn? So how a restaurant owner can get help? Well, is that a question for me? Is there a, can we handle the questions later? Super excited. Only Suresh is excited. Okay, Nilesh came for. How many of you are excited? Type in the chat box excited. If you guys are excited, if I receive your energies, I am super excited. Okay, you can receive as much from me as much as you are hungry for. I have lots and lots and lots to share. It totally depends on your receptivity and your involvement, your participation. Okay, can I have your agreement that you guys will participate? Can I have your agreement that you guys will participate? Awesome. Karuna is excited. Ankur is excited. Shubha is excited. Shiva is excited. Shiva is keen to learn. Okay. All right. Okay. See, when you participate, you learn more. Okay. When you participate, you learn more because you can express, right? Because we are connecting live only across these 3 days, unless you decide to come ahead with me in the journey. Okay. So we are live for these 3 days. Make sure that you make the most of our time together. Make this your priority for next 3 days. Okay, because there's a lot in store. I'm not one other teacher, trainer, coach, consultant in the market. So that you will realize once we are together for 3 days. Okay, so that's all right. Don't worry. Okay. All right. So okay. So can I share how many of you got a chance to go over my video, my introductory video? How many of you got chance to go over my introductory video? If not, because most of the time I see that people have not gone through, so I just thought maybe this time I can I share something about myself so you know whom are you learning from? Whom are you learning from? All right. So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Knowledge, Digitization and Monetization Business Model. I'm Vandana Mehrotra. I have been a struggling job seeker to becoming a first generation super successful serial entrepreneur. I ventured into 7 diverse businesses from scratch with absolutely no clue on how to start and run a business. I have 14 years of serial entrepreneurship experience across 7 diverse businesses. And I have co-authored a book on entrepreneurship called You Can Do It. Okay, so overall with 24 years of professional experience and 14 years of entrepreneurship experience, I have come a long way. And my beginning was I come from a very humble beginnings, a humble background. But today I can say that I'm living life on my own terms. And my vision is actually a growing and giving world. Okay, and I'm mother of 2 and wife of a very loving and caring husband. Okay, Ankur. He is my life partner and business partner, and he's also available in the session today. Okay, so I am a spiritualist, and spiritualism to me is not about God. It's about knowing the deeper dimensions of the self. I'm also an essentialist. That means I will never give anyone more than what they need. I will never give you anything more than what you need right now. Right? And the law of life that I live by is giving, because whatever I am today is because of giving. And the I factor of my life, the values on which I vibrate are integrity, independence, and inclusiveness. So none of you are strangers for me here, because I also believe in the connectedness, which is also a law of life, right? So that's all about me. So venturing into 7 diverse businesses as a first-time entrepreneur, being featured in CNBC, Your Story, Enterprising Women, whatever, Live Mint. Okay. I think I have developed a great business acumen over these years, right? So I love generating ideas and strategies, and I also love executing them, right? So that's my core strength. Right. So let's look at what digitalization. So now we are entering into today's topic, which is digitalization. Okay. So there are 4 stages of digitalization. Okay. The 4 steps, or the four must-do things for digitalization. Okay. Number 1 is purpose. Purpose. Number 2 is preparation. Number 3 is publishing. And number 4 is promoting. So these are the 4 steps that we will cover in digitalization. The most important and the foundational stuff is your purpose. Because unless you get that right, there is no clarity in your communication. There is no focus. You're not able to communicate the value that you bring in the marketplace. Everything about you is scattered. So purpose is the first step of digitalization. For that, it is very important for us to find out what is your vision, what is your mission, what are the values you stand by, what is your goal, what is it that you want, what is your revenue goal. So all these things come under purpose. Okay. Okay. And then preparation stage. Preparation is deciding which course to create. It is just not simply recording your slide deck, or recording anything that you want to share, or recording your course content, simply pressing the record button and recording, because it will not help you create high impact courses. And if you want to create high impact courses, preparation, planning, strategizing is a must. So there is a preparatory stage before you actually hit that record button to record your courses, right? And then publish once you have recorded. After you're ready, start. If you are when Once you have the winning strategy, then you publish your course and then you promote. At every stage, you will be promoting. So promoting is not necessarily marketing I'm talking about, okay? Every stage, digitalization stage you will promote, monetization stage anyways you will promote, marketing stage is you will promote, but the degree to which you are promoting is varying across these levels, okay? Right. So in monetization, day two, we will look at some of 6 strategies actually, how to acquire high income skills, what's the market potential, how to build your influence, how you can clone yourself, some powerful conversion strategies, and low cost marketing hacks. Okay. I already discussed in the third stage, we will be looking at digital systems and tools, right? So even before we go there, I'm just going to do my slide share because I want you guys to see this. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, I'm just doing a slide share. How to do the, okay. Right. So let's look at the type of businesses, different types of businesses as per investment capacity. See, all of you okay. How many of you are already business owners here? Already you are business owners or you're self-employed or you're a solopreneur, freelancer. I don't want you to call yourself freelancers. Call yourself a solopreneur. Don't call yourself a freelancer. Just call yourself a solopreneur, right? How many of you are employed here and wanting to start your business? So Suresh is a solopreneur. Suresh already has a business. Subro already has a business. Super awesome. Great. Vanamala is a solopreneur. Sanjay is already having a business. Okay, already having a wanting to start. So the Sudarshan is wanting to start. All right. Yogesh, employee, wants to start own business. Great. Vandana Kumari is a solopreneur. Awesome. Right. Now, whenever you start a business, okay, see, you are having a source of income either as an employee or as a business owner or as a solopreneur, as self-employed or as an entrepreneur. Now, what is the difference across all these? We will cover some other time. But your source of income is coming either from employment, where you are trading your time and your skills for money, right? Right? Or it is coming from a business that you are running. If you are having a team, then it is a business. If you are running alone, you are self-employed. But there is a difference between a business owner and an entrepreneur. Okay. There is a huge difference between a business owner and an entrepreneur. A chai ka dukan can be a self-employed, okay, because he is doing washing the utensils himself, preparing the chai himself, getting the raw material himself, cleaning the stall himself, serving people, everything he's only doing. So he's self-employed. He's not going to an employer. Nobody's paying him salary. He's only earning his salary. He's self-employed. But a restaurant or a fast food, could be a business owner because now he has a team. He has a cashier. He has people, waiters taking the order, people serving the orders. He has chef and people in the kitchen, right? So he's a business owner, right? He is operating with just one business in place and he's generating some income, right? Then who is an entrepreneur, right? A chai point is an entrepreneur because he is not only invested his time, his skills, but also his money to act big and think big. A chai ki tapri, a chai ka shop makes 50,000 a month, or 10,000 to 1 lakh a month. Let's keep that way. But a chai entrepreneur, how much is a chai entrepreneur making? 130 crores per annum. Product is chai only. But look at the chai wala, a single chai wala is self-employed, right? And then we have a business owner who is a restaurant running and also giving chai. And then we have a chai entrepreneur. So the question here is, even the business owner has invested money, but the business owner is depends. Okay, they will futurely become an entrepreneur, make more outlets, etc., etc. Now I don't want to get there, but an entrepreneur has invested significant amount of money to create a proof of concept. Nobody will fund your idea or your business at the idea stage. Nobody will fund. There has to be a successful proof of concept. Then only your ideas will be funded. Till that time, to build the proof of concept, you will have to invest money into any business that you want to do, whatever business, even network marketing, referral marketing. You have to buy the products so that you can use and see yourself before you can recommend it to others. So there is no business which can happen with zero investment. Do you agree? Is there any business that can happen with zero investment? Is there any business that can happen with zero investment? So may I have some responses? Shiba says no, but yes, only Shiba says, what about others? So no, okay. So now my question to you is, do you want to be self-employed? Do you want to stay? Okay, those who are employees here and want to start your business, why do you want to start your business? I'm asking that question. Why do you want to start your business? Right? So if you are starting, first of all, do you mean serious business or you want to do a side hustle? A job भी करेंगे, side में one more income stream create करेंगे. Is that the idea, or you seriously want to be full-fledged, totally focused on one knowledge business? So how many of you want to start serious business? Type in the chat box serious business. How many of you want to build serious business? Type in the chat box. Karuna wants to build serious business. Vandana wants flexible. Okay, you become an entrepreneur because flexibility of what? Of time, of money, of not reporting to anybody, of being your own boss. When you want to work, you work. When you don't want to work, you don't work. And there is a direct impact of all the hard work that you are putting on your bank details. All the hard work that you are putting, there is a direct reflection of your hard work in your banking, in your bank balance, right? That's the power of starting your business, right? You have total freedom to do, and more importantly, being a decision maker, right? Being a decision maker, you don't have to take somebody's approval for your ideas or for what you want to do. So there are benefits, many benefits. So all in all, I'm saying is that as an entrepreneur, if you want to start a serious business, you must be ready to invest. There is no business without no investment, but there are businesses which have low investment. Okay, so now let's look at some of the business. Make sense? Make sense? Yes. So Vandana wants time being my own time and being my own creator. Yes. Turn my business to further serious verticals. Subro, very good. Nilesh wants to create a serious business. Awesome. Right? Right? So now let's look at different types of businesses as per investment. Right? So based on the investment, so there are some businesses which are high capex and high opex. There are businesses which are high capex and high opex. So can you tell me what is capex? It is the capital expenditure that is required. It is the capital expenditure that is required for starting and running a business. And then OPEX is the monthly operational cost, operational expenses. I don't know why they use the word expenses. We should not call it expenses. They are all investments. Okay, that is all investment. Your rental, it is also a kind of investment, but it is kind of gone, right? But you know how much money that you need to invest in the beginning when you start a business is capex, right? And how much money you will need every month, recurring cost, is the opex. So what are examples of businesses which are high capex and high opex? Can you share what do you think are the some of the businesses who will have high capex and high opex? Airlines, 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 right? Airline, do you think they have high capital investment when somebody, if you want to start an airline business, how much is the money you will need? Gold and diamond business, gold and diamond business. Guys, I'm not able to see your chat. Are you responding? Yeah, thank you so much. Somehow I lost that window. Yeah, right. So I'm just going to reorganize my window. Yeah. So Shubhra is saying a manufacturing setup. Perfect, right? Yes. Airline, hospitals, yes. Electricity generation, yes. Establishing hospitals is a capex, yes. Good, very good. Educational institutes, yes. High capex and high opex, right? Manufacturing factories, definitely. Even luxury products, okay? For example, 1 second, guys. I have someone at the door. Yeah. So, right. So, even software products, R&D project, R&D businesses are also high capex and high opex, right? Operational costs are also high, and the cost to set up that business is also high, right? Then we have businesses which are high capex and low opex. Gucci, yes, luxury products, very good. Shiba, yes, luxury products are also high capex, high opex. Now let us look at businesses which have high capital expenditure. See, guys, whatever I am sharing with you, everything is in context. I will not say anything which is out of context. I'm trying to make a point here why you should get into the knowledge business, and how consciously you are taking that decision, so that your chances of failing reduces significantly and your chances of succeeding and winning from the beginning is high. With that intent, I want to orient yourself into what are the different types of businesses that exist, what are the different business models, and that's why I am covering this particular aspect of running your business. Okay, because finally you are also creating a business, though it is a knowledge based business, and knowing whether it will be a high capex business or a high opex business or a low opex low opex high capex, whatever those four combinations that I'm going to be talking about now, right? So now let's look at businesses which have high capital expenditure but low operational. So one time you need to invest in the beginning, but your operational expenses are less, right? What do you think are examples of those businesses? Gym, your fitness gyms. Initially, it takes a lot of money to get all the equipments and setup. But what is the recurring operational expenses? It's only maintenance of the equipments. That's all, right? So gym is a high capex and low opex, right? So even construction business, initially investment high capex, but operational expenses are less, right? They initially buy property and they generate funds from the customers themselves, right? Digital marketing agency is a high capex. I don't think so. No. Okay. Right. So see, pharma industries, any creative product like online training, movies are high capex and low opex. Movies, high capex, low opex, right? Then we have low capex but high opex. If the capital, you have low initial investment, but your monthly recurring high opex, right? So which are those type of businesses? Consulting, software consulting, where you just need an office space, right? You need some laptops or the projector and stuff like that. But what is your high OPEX is the monthly salaries. So software consulting is a digital marketing can also be that, right? Where your initial investment to start is less, but your salaries and other expenses go high. So your monthly recurring businesses, you need high operational expenses because you need to pay salaries, right? Then we have low capex and low opex. So what are the examples of low capex and low opex? Freelancers, solopreneurs, commission-based businesses, referral marketing, right? Some low-end franchisees also come into this. Okay, insurance agents. What is your capital capex in the beginning? Low, and your recurring is also low. So that is why a lot of people go into these commission-based businesses are generally low capex and low opex. So whatever you are doing right now, I want you to identify whether you are in which category you are in. And where do you think the knowledge business fits? Where do you think the knowledge business fits? Where do you think the knowledge business fits? Is it a high capex, low opex, or low opex, high capex, or low opex and low capex? Where do you think the knowledge? Beautiful. Pushpa is saying low capex, low opex. Beautiful. That is why you should be in the knowledge business, because your inventory is you. Your inventory is your knowledge all in here. So for example, if you are in the gold and diamond business, your inventory of products, or you are in wellness and health physical products, here is a cost of inventory. But in this business, because you yourself are the cost, your inventory, your cost of inventory is very less, and that is why it is a highly profitable business to be in, right? So knowledge business is a low capex and low opex business. Now, there are businesses based on top line and bottom line. Okay, so top line and bottom line, which is money management, revenue. Okay, so let's look at, so I'll be sharing some insights on businesses which are high in volume and high in margins, right? What kind of businesses do you think which have high volume and high margins? The products which are mass, I mean, it is high volume as well as margins are also high. The session is going to go beyond 1 hour. Okay, so this was one more announcement. Generally, my sessions go lengthier because I have so much to share. So if you guys have to leave, in time is on time. Okay, dot time. Out time is totally your call. You're free to leave any point in time, and you can watch the recording later. Okay, because I have so much to share, I just can't finish it in short time, right? So FMCG products are high volume and high margins. No, Shiba. No. So okay. So okay. Apple products, okay, are high volume and high margins. Coke, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, Microsoft, antiviruses software, generic medicines, oil and gas companies. These have high volume as well as high margins. Okay. And then we have FMCG will come under high volume but low margins. Parle-G biscuit, okay, your grocery staple food, right? Whatever you get in the FMCG products, right? Fast moving consumer goods, they're produced in high volume, but the margins are low. Okay, margins are low. And then we have low volume but high margin. So, you know, the sales, this is the volume of sales we are talking about. How much products can be sold? The volume of sales we are talking about. Okay. So what are some of the companies which will, or products which has low volume but high margins? Perfect. Luxury products, luxury cars, Pushpa. Perfect. Perfect. Right? Yes. Shubhro is saying niche products, organic products. Yes. Low volume and high margins. Perfect. Great. Great, guys. Right? And then we have low volume, low margin. Low volume, low margin. This is the story of knowledge givers. This is the story of freelancers, that you don't have enough volume and you have to compromise on your pricing because एक कस्टमर आया, दो कस्टमर आया, चलो जो मांग रहा है उसमें ही दे देते हैं, कम से कम कुछ तो पैसा आएगा. I hope some of you understand Hindi here. Okay, so nobody should be in low volume and low margin business. Right now, whatever freelancing work that you are doing, that is why I said don't call yourself freelancers, call solopreneur. At least you price your offerings properly, because I don't want any of you to be in a low volume and low margin business, which is the current stage of knowledge givers. And that is what I am here to solve. Right? So now let's look at why knowledge business, right? So see, the entire world has now shrunk into your laptop, right? I'm going to be doing my slideshow. Just hold on. Yeah. Is my slide visible? Right? So the entire world has now shrunk inside your phone or laptop, right? This is the era of platform business models. Is my slide deck visible, guys? Is my slide deck visible? May I have some responses? Yes, great. So this is the era of platform business model. Now, what is a platform business model? See, the way the various business models have evolved. Earlier, we used to be having brick and mortar stores. Then we had the software company, where, technology, there was an era of technology-based businesses, brick and mortar store again, brick and mortar offices, corporate offices, right? Like we used to have these Whirlpool kind of companies who took about 86 years to make their first $1 billion. And then gradually we had the era of Nokia, Motorola, all these companies, right? And which had multiple offices and thousands of employees. They were in technology products, but still a brick and mortar format only. And then gradually there was a time when real estate was booming. Then was a time detailing franchising was booming, right? There was a time, when the era of platform business models, which started few years back, right? So what exactly is a platform business model, right? See, WhatsApp is a communication platform. Facebook is a social media. Facebook is what? Facebook is a social platform, right? Your Twitter, Amazon, Kindle, YouTube, they are media and content platforms. Google is a search platform, right? So now in this era of platform businesses, which platform is showing a growth of 40%, especially because of COVID? It's your learning platforms, right? So it's the learning platform, right? So prior to COVID, also the world was already shifting to new ways of doing things. The way you were shopping has changed from brick and mortar to Amazon. The way you're communicating via landlines and written email letters, to communicating via emails, to SMS, to WhatsApp communication, right? The way you were making payments changed to Paytm, GPay, especially thanks to 811, right? The demonetization that happened on 8th November, right? And then the way you're watching movies, the broadcast, the way broadcast is happening is all Netflix, right? So now what changed due to COVID? Anyways, we were changing. It is a change that whatever had to happen 10 years from now was forced, fast forwarded, right? And what exactly changed is the landscape of learning. The education industry has turned upside down completely. Is that a problem or is it an opportunity? Is that a problem or is it an opportunity? Right? The whole landscape of marketing is changing. Facebook is becoming a marketing platform. YouTube is becoming a marketing platform. WhatsApp is becoming a marketing platform. Google is becoming a marketing platform. Google is coming up with Google Business Suite. Facebook has come up with Facebook Business Suite. YouTube has come up with its own business suite. So the way marketing will happen henceforth is going to change completely from traditional ways, and it is very important that whatever products or services you are in, you learn the language of this digital world, right? So the way learning happened during the COVID times lockdown was most people were learning on Udemy, right? So Udemy has about 50 million users, 190 countries, 1.5 lakh courses, and a revenue of 558 million per year. This is old statistic. This is an 8-month old statistic. I'm sure it would have changed because there's a lot more competition coming up for them, right? So what does it mean to you? Only 1.5 lakh courses and 50 million users. Everybody's talking about e-learning, e-learning, e-learning. So when there are e-learners, there have to be e-teachers also, no? Right? So there are a lot of benefits of e-learning, right? It accommodates different learning styles. It allows the client to proceed at their pace, their convenience, right? And it also makes expertise affordable, pocket friendly, right? So, do you see an opportunity in being a e-teacher? It could be a trainer, teacher, coach, consultant, whatever. Okay. Do you see an opportunity? Now, why it is so urgent for you to right now shift? You don't have time. Really don't have time. You have to get on this as soon as possible because of COVID again. Whatever could have happened in the next 10 years has been pushed forward, and we do have to act on it now, because if you don't do this, you will be outdated, right? So why am I saying this? Let's look at the technology adoption curve and how it impacts you. Whenever a technology is created, right, there are innovators of that technology. Then there are some early adopters of that technology. Look at the Android phones. Look at when it started it started way back in 2006-7 timeframe. I remember when we started our IT company, right? But the adoption has happened over a decade, right? But there were innovators of the technology. There were some people, early adopters. Then we had early majority coming in somewhere around 2012-15. Then we had some late majority, and now everyone are having mobile phones on Android or maybe on iOS. But I'm just taking the Android example, right? So sooner or later, people have to adapt to technology because no one is remaining untouched with technology, right? So this knowledge business is not something new. Okay, it was there from 2012 onwards. Right now the mass adoption is happening. So there were early innovators who had their own share of struggle. Then there were some early adopters who took 5 to 7 years to monetize their knowledge via digital platforms, creating digital products. And then until 2018-19 also we were in the early majority stage. But thanks to COVID, because of so much learning happening, we are right now in the middle of early majority. Okay, we are not at the cusp also anymore. Okay, so sooner or later you will have to do this. Okay, so if you skip this wave, then you will have to do it 2 years down the line, next year. Okay, and then those who are not wanting to do it, they will be forced to do it because there will be laggards who will join in later. Just like how a lot of 80-year-old Kathak teacher teaching Kathak on Zoom. Our fitness trainers never wanted to use Zoom and all are using all Zoom because it became a matter of survival, right? So if it is a matter of survival, sooner or this is a matter of survival. Okay, so my question to you is, where do you want to be in this curve as far as converting your knowledge into digital products, digital assets is concerned? Where do you want to be in this curve? I have a question for you. Where do you want to be in this curve? Early majority, that is where we are not innovators, we are not early adopters. We are in early majority right now, somewhere on this side of the bell curve. So let me say, do you want to be on the left side of the bell curve or on the right side of the bell curve? We have missed the early adopter. We have missed it. Okay. Yes. So early majority at least. Why? Because you will still get an edge in the market, right? So I hope you understand the need to create digital products. See, even if you have physical products, you can have a digital representation of the physical products. See, a restaurant can create you can create your recipes or pictures of your dishes or whatever you're offering. Your menu can be digitized. Yeah, there's so much thing that can be done. You have a digital representation of your physical offerings. And every business, I have lots of ideas for different business types on what you can digitalize. For a knowledge giver, your knowledge you have to convert into digital assets. Courses happen to be one such asset. Okay, courses is just one asset. Okay, digital asset, right? So for other businesses, what is it that you can digitalize? Well, your whole order taking process you can digitalize. Your whole you can actually give a glimpse into how you prepare. So because people look at more than just buying from you, okay, there are a lot more that goes into your sales. You can give them visibility into your world through digitization. You can give them a view of your kitchen, the view of your restaurant, right? And how you make things, right? Knowledge sharing, right? And so many things can be done, right? Yes. So sooner or later, everyone has to be on the virtual world, the online world, because that's your address on the internet. You have a home here, that's your address. On the internet, that's the address, or your online presence is your address on the internet where people will reach you, right? So this is the fastest growing industry. E-learning and e-teaching, fastest growing industry, estimated to be 400 billion by 2025. It's up to you how much share you want in this billion-dollar growing industry, right? So do you see an opportunity in being an e-teacher? And that is why you must be in the knowledge business. If you have some kind of experience, expertise, valuable insights, deep insights, wisdom, which you can share and create multiple streams of income, because money is directly proportional to the number of people you serve. No one shares this secret. Currently, how many sources of income do you have? If you are an employee, only one source of income. If you are a doctor, MBBS physician, general physician, through the day you have some 20, 50 patients coming, you have 20 sources of income, 50 sources of income. That is why a doctor has money. A lawyer, if he is handling multiple cases throughout the day, that is why he is having multiple people paying money to him. That is why a lawyer is rich. A chartered accountant, multiple businesses paying money to them, right? But as an employee, you have only one source of income. And if you have managed your money well, you have invested, then you may have some passive income from your real estate or stock market or some kind of investment that you have done to grow your money. Okay, rentals maybe, whatever, some property related, some money coming in, fixed deposit, whatever, some investment that you have done. So if you have only one source of income, that is why all the money challenges in your life. So my question to you is, how many sources of income do you have right now? Ongoing business income and income from investment. Super, right? So knowledge business also gives you the ability of one to many. If you digitize your knowledge, then there is no limitation of physical boundaries. The world becomes your playground, not just your city, not just your area, not just your country. If you are in such an offering that the world needs it, yoga, do you think the world needs yoga? Meditation, do you think the world needs meditation? Okay, you're in health and wellness, alternate medicines, ayurveda, astrology, numerology, calligraphy, artist, painting, music, dance, these creative skills, right? Subject math, English, foundational subject, right? So if you are in a evergreen content, right, the world is your playground, a generic content. Not only when you are alive, you can actually build an asset which you can give as an inheritance. How you write a will for the real estate properties you have, for your whatever financial asset that you have, your knowledge which is digitized can also become your asset, can also become your legacy that can be passed on to next generation. How book writing used to be there was royalty. Napoleon rich, right? Think and Grow Rich. Till today his family is getting the royalty of his book. So that is the power of converting your knowledge into digital courses. If you are in something like Facebook campaign and all those things, those are temporary. But you are in marketing fundamentals, customer psychology, they are evergreen. But the tool per se, because the systems and tools will change, but the fundamental things remain the same. People management, some behavioral skills, emotional skills, mindset shifts, these are all evergreen, right? So I hope you guys see that you are sitting on a gold mine and your knowledge is gold. Do you believe your knowledge is gold? Type in the chat box, my knowledge is gold. Pushpa, just type gold, 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 gold. I want to see as many gold as possible, because I'm going to be giving, and your gold is what? Gold in its pure form is malleable. It needs alloys to convert them into beautiful products which are adorned by people. So your knowledge is also gold. It needs the digital systems so that you can create beautiful products that will not only help you get financial abundance in your life this lifetime, it can also become your legacy that you can pass on to your next generation. Yes, Vandana's knowledge is gold, Deep Bhatia's knowledge is gold, Pratibha's knowledge is gold, Nilesh's knowledge is gold, Pushpa's knowledge is gold, Shiva's knowledge is gold. Thank you so much, guys. Right? So don't miss this huge wave of opportunity that is available, especially for knowledge givers. इसलिए I tell knowledge givers, अपना time आ गया, आएगा नहीं, आ गया. अपना time आ गया, and this is the golden age of our planet, where everyone needs a teacher in their life, and teachers are going to be new leaders. The world need new leaders, and teachers are new leaders, because teachers shape up the consciousness of the planet. And we don't have to have degree to be a teacher. Your own personal experiences from life, your expertise, you can be a teacher and serve those 100,000 students, people in your, whoever will resonate with you, right? So recently my husband and my daughter went for surfing in Udupi, and they had to do a lot of preparation before they could actually go and surf. So so finally when they actually went into the wave to surf, they're waiting for that right wave to come so that they can surf. Even if they were trying to surf 1 second faster or 1 second slower, they would simply fall. So it is very important that there is a wave of opportunity for knowledge givers, and it's time to surf, ride that wave effortlessly. But a preparation is required, because by failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail, right? So what is it that you need? You need a lot of things to be connecting together and working in automation for you. Okay, so let's look at how to build your knowledge business. You need to sell something. So what will you sell? You will be creating your own products. You can sell someone else's products at affiliate marketer, but I'm not, that is a secondary source of income. I'm not promoting that yet at this stage. I want you to build your own products so that you have solid control on your business. Okay. So a digitalization, as I said, is a 4-step process. Knowing your purpose. Okay. Then very important, and this is where most of the people fail. You don't get the leads, you are not able to convert, you don't know how to price your products. There's so much, because there is no clarity in communication. You're being multi-talented people, you can do multiple things, so you don't know what to begin, where to start, how to do it, how to structure your thoughts, how to structure your content, what is it that you are doing, why are you doing that, so many things, right? So the first step is knowing why do you want to do this, which is your purpose, and then the necessary preparation, right? And then publishing and promoting, right? Right? So purpose, right? So I'm covering digitalization today. So I have actually the whole knowledge business. The whole knowledge business for me right now is a 11P system. It's a 11P system to convert your knowledge into a digital asset, to monetize your knowledge, market your knowledge, and become truly financially abundant by helping others first. You are in such a good business where you will actually transform lives. You are not in a liquor business, or you are not into cigarettes and tobacco products, right? You are not in plastic production, manufacturing of plastics, which are causing more harm on this planet than good, right? You are in the Gurukul business, okay? You are in a Gurukul business, right? Where the guru is also cool, okay, because you are using the latest trends and teaching the people as per what they can understand, right? Because all of us have something to teach, all of us have something to share, which is not just information, it is your experience and expertise from which, see, knowledge, is knowledge more valuable or experience more valuable? Is knowledge more valuable or experience more valuable? Why people are in waiting room? Do we still have some people in the waiting room? Do I still have some people in the waiting room? No, right? Okay. Experience with knowledge. No, your knowledge is only getting, see, your experience is also a form of knowledge, right? But see, you may read all the books on swimming, and you know that, okay, wow, I have got all the knowledge in the world about different types of swimming pools, different sizes of swimming pools, and what different types of swimming styles. You've gathered a lot of knowledge, but when will experience about swimming come? When you have actually dived into the water. So now you have an experience. So what is more valuable, knowledge or experience? The knowledge applied becomes experience, right? Application of knowledge is experience, and experience is more valuable, right? So let's look at what are the 7 P's that will help you know which course to create. So for that, first you must have personal clarity. And for personal clarity and unique positioning, because there may be many mindset shift teachers, there may be many math teacher, there may be many manufacturing industry experts, there may be many business consultants, there may be many spiritual teachers teaching meditation, Reiki, different modalities, right? You're not the only one. Then why would someone come to you? How will you stand out uniquely from your competition? Right? So for that, the first P is your purpose. And that for that, you need to answer why you do what you do. The why needs to be answered. because from your purpose, you will be able to bring that clarity in your communication, and you will, once you work with a purpose, you will be able to achieve a lot more. You will be able to leverage your inborn talents and skills, right? And for that, you need to know the mission, vision, values, and goals that you want to work for. Okay, the first P is purpose. Then second P is passion. What are you passionate about? What are you passionate about? This is so important because there is a concept called passion versus trends, right? And that is what most people find comfort in, trendy stuff. Because okay, this right now knowledge business is working. I have some idea about how to build knowledge business, so let me do a course on knowledge business. But you know what? I am passionate about healing. I am passionate about spirituality. But then I will choose this because this is hot. It's in trend in the market, so let me choose that, right? Okay, Facebook, everybody's talking about digital marketing and funnel building, so let me move to funnels because I am a technical person and I can understand all of this, so let me create courses on funnels. When you work with your mind, you get tired, but when you are working from your heart, you can effortlessly, tirelessly keep on working because your heart has been working tirelessly. Your mind gets fatigued, but your heart is continuously working since the time you were born, and it will continue to work till the time you leave this planet. So very important to know, what are you passionate about? Now we are addressing what is the course that you should create. For that, I'm addressing the 7 P's. The first P is knowing your purpose. The second P is knowing what are you passionate about. The third P is what is the problem that you are solving in the market with your products or services or courses, your knowledge, experience, expertise. What is the problem it is solving? You will have to write that. What is the problem it is solving, right? And then what is the pain behind that problem? So your problem can be you are a very obese person. So obesity is a problem, okay? But what is the pain behind obesity? What is the person who is obese going through, feeling, thinking, doing? What they feel, body shame, they are not able to dress well, they cannot fit into the dress of their choice, they don't socialize, they get into depression, they develop other lifestyle diseases, their mobility gets restricted, right? They don't feel good about themselves, they lose their self-worth. So this is the pain behind that problem, right? The problem is obesity. It's a health problem. But what is the pain behind that problem? And now what I am sharing with you, this is the clarity. Once you get, you will be able to do that value communication. What is it that you're solving with your products and services? And when you touch upon the pain of your target audience, you get their attention. You get their attention. Untold pain. Yes, what is that untold pain behind the problem you are solving? So what very important questions to ask. And once you get this right, you are what with this 7P process, you are actually, I call it my GPS system, which is the anchor of your business. It is the foundation of your business, whatever business you are in. Physical products, restaurants, service businesses, knowledge products, digital products, affiliate products, MLM products, whatever you are doing. Okay, very important to ask and write down what is the problem you are solving in the market with your products or services. What is the pain behind that problem? And it is generally an untold pain. Okay, then whom are you solving this problem for? Whom are you solving this problem for? Who is the target audience? Most of the time, entrepreneurs say when I consult them, everyone is my target audience. Everybody needs my personal consulting. Everybody needs fitness training. Everybody needs to come to the gym. Everybody should be doing yoga. Great. But if everyone is your target audience, then no one is your target audience, because you are just one other fitness trainer. You are just one other chartered accountant. You are just one other hotel. You are just one other manufacturing industry, excuse me. Right? So in order to position yourself uniquely, it is very important to identify your target audience. You can say, I help. No, most of the time people say, no, no, if I don't address them, they will think I don't work for them. No, this persona is basically a door opener into your world. Once you have defined that this is the target audience I want to serve, you have opened the door into your world for that specific kind of needs. That doesn't mean you will not get business from others. So when we started our gold and diamond business, there were many jewelers, but we started giving competition to Tanishq at our level because our target audience was very clear. We were serving middle class people, working women who can afford up to 1 lakh of jewelry. So our store was stocked with 300 plus options in earrings, pendants, finger rings for working women who has a budget of 5,000 rupees to 1 lakh rupees. That's all. And we were number one store for diamond sales in India because we were bang on our target audience. But that doesn't mean that we never got wedding orders. We never got any sale above 1 lakh. No, we have positioned ourselves uniquely in the marketplace by catering to the specific needs of this target audience. So whom are you solving this problem for? You can just say I do yoga for women in the age group of 35 to 40, or a post pregnancy weight loss. I'm an expert for post pregnancy weight loss, something like that, right? Where you are defining so you laser focus on your target audience, because all your communication will be for that target audience, because the needs and problem and pain of this target audience is very different from a 15-year-old who wants to build his muscles, or from a 60-year-old. His needs are very different. So your communication is mixed because you're talking for a 15-year-old also, you're talking for a 35-year-old also, and you're talking for a 60-year-old also, all in one communication. And that is why you are having the challenges with not enough sales, not enough leads, because your communication is scattered and mixed, right? So very important to identify whom are you creating this course for? What is the problem you're solving with your digital course or whatever products and services you have? What is the pain behind that problem? Whom are you solving this problem for? Next, is it a good problem to solve? Is it a good problem to solve? Potential in the market tomorrow. Yeah. Right. So for example, okay, let me take one more example, right? So see, yoga is a very generic, what do you say, offering, product or service offering, right? But yoga for diabetes, yoga for diabetics, people who are diabetes is a little niche. Yoga for people who have BP is also a niche. Yoga for children who are prone to type 2 diabetes, all the more niche, right? So it is very important to identify your target audience, and then it is very important to know what is the potential of the problem that you are solving. We will cover this tomorrow. I'm just going to help you find out your market potential tomorrow, because I see most of the people struggle with that. So potential is high potential or medium potential or low potential. That means how many people in the world are having health problems? How many business owners are struggling with revenue and sales? Right? How many students have career related issues? Right? How many people want to learn calligraphy as a hobby or as a profession? How many people want to learn music as a hobby or as a profession? Right? So how many people in the world are going through depression if you are in that product? right? So see, for example, I do a lot of shortcuts in kitchen. Okay, so now I can teach you how to create and sell online courses. I can teach you how to start and scale your business from scratch. I can also teach you how to live a great quality life, extraordinary living. I can also do meditations. So what do you think I should be doing? And I, because I'm so passionate about kitchen, I love shortcuts in kitchen. So should I create a course on shortcuts in kitchen? What is the potential of that? How many people need shortcuts in kitchen versus how many businesses want business growth? How many knowledge givers want to digitalize, monetize, and market their knowledge? But the question to ask is, what are you passionate about? Now, I'll say I'm passionate about everything. I mean, whatever I'm doing, I'm passionate about living, creating. I can be multi-talented. I don't have to just be one passion. I have many passions. That is a myth. I simply want a growing and giving world. For that, I can create different products, right? So, which product to create among so many of your offerings? Is there a potential for that product? And next, will people pay you for that? And how much are people willing to pay you for that? My shortcuts in kitchen, nobody will pay me anything for that because there are a lot of YouTube videos available for free. And even if somebody wants a structured, systematic, step-by-step process at one place, do you think people will be willing to pay me 99 rupees also for accessing this structured course? So it is very important because your passion should not become poison. Your passion should become your profession. When does your passion become poison? When there is no incoming happening because of your passion, which is revenue, because you cannot deposit your goodwill, your hard work, your love, your good nature in the bank. Nobody is going to give you grocery free because of that. Nobody, you have bills to pay, you have loans to repay, right? So you need an incoming. So if your passion is not becoming a profitable profession, it is becoming a poison. So how can we make sure that we still do things where you get to do your passion because it will fulfill you, but also there is an incoming because of that, right? So finally, after putting all these things in place, what is it that you want? Profits, right? Profits and pleasure for yourself plus your target audience, right? Why are you doing all this? And hence knowledge business is the most lucrative profit making business because your costs, your capex is low, your opex is low. It can become high volume, high margin business. Make sense? Right. So whatever we discussed so far, can you create a product out of it now when you have answered all these questions? A digital product, right? What is the problem you are solving? What are you passionate about? What is your purpose on this planet with your products and services? What is it that you want to do? Why is it that you want to do? You want to make money for yourself? You want to help people? You want to do both? You want to create impact in people's life and also have financial abundance for yourself? You want to earn 10 lakh a month? You want to earn 3 lakh a month? You want to earn 50,000 a month? Or you want to earn 1 crore a month? You want to convert your annual salary or annual income into monthly income? What is your goal? What is you want? It is okay to ask, I want money, I want to own a yacht, I want to always travel in business class, I want to buy an island, I want to own a charter plane. Okay, I no longer want to go in train or buses, I'll always travel in flight. Whatever is your quality of life right now, what is it that you want? Clearly communicate it to the universe. And there is no shame in fulfilling your dreams and desires. But you must have that clarity on what is it that you want. There has to be a higher purpose, but the outcome of that higher purpose is your own fulfillment in terms of ticking off your material desires, ticking off your material desires, okay? Because I truly believe that once you have, once you are able to fulfill your material desires, only then you know the true value of life. Only then you realize that there is more to life. Only then the other dimensions of life opens up for most of the people, right? I'm so sorry, I'm losing the track of time because I am simply into my content, right? So I'm sure that we have a lot of challenges to cover, like, right? So the digitalization step is deciding which course to create based on the 7P that I have spoken about. Overall, the whole knowledge business is a 11P system, but deciding which course to create comes under 7P, okay? And I have a GPS system. So once you know what is the pain you are solving in the market, it's time to identify how will your clients benefit from it. So that is gain. So what gains or benefits or outcomes you will give to your target audience by solving their problems and pains with your unique solution. What's your unique solution? What will make you unique? What's your unique serving proposition? What's your unique value proposition? What makes you unique? Your experience and expertise makes you unique. Your why makes you unique. Your victim to warrior stories, which are called emotionally charged stories, makes you unique. And all that has to be built into your courses, into your offerings, into your videos, into your content, everywhere. So the basic foundational step is the toughest of all. But right now we think we don't see it that way because most of the people see the tip of the iceberg. But what is below the iceberg, there's a lot of groundwork that needs to happen. That is the preparation stage, right? Once you get that, all of that planning and strategy, right, it's time to record your course. When I was there, when I was doing all these things, I thought recording is my biggest challenge. Okay. Then I thought marketing, digital marketing is my biggest challenge. After that, I realized, oh, no, 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 conversion is a biggest challenge. So every stage, different challenges will come. But when I was able to actually digitalize my courses, and now when I'm teaching, this is you're my 12th batch, okay, I realize that this is the most important stage which is in your control. And this is the stage which will take a lot of your time because once you have got the foundation right, if the roots are strong, will the tree be strong or weak? So your course is like a seed. Your course is like a seed. Your courses are like seed. You need the right soil conditions to sow that seed, and then it needs the nurturing of YouTube, Facebook, whatever is intent, Google AdWords, monetization strategy, digital systems and tools, whatever it is, to make it a fruit and flower bearing tree, right? So, and just looking at the quality of seed, you cannot tell what is the quality of fruits and flowers that will come out of it. Just looking at the seed, can you tell what kind of fruits it will give? To screen share, I stopped that because I just wanted me to be around there, right? So this is the digitalization steps, okay? So the whole knowledge business is 11P system. For recording your courses, I'll be showing you some low cost, high quality recording hacks. To publish it, you need some must have systems and tools. Start selling, you need a lot of entrepreneurial skills, you need conversion strategies, you need new age salesmanship, powerful monetization strategy. And to make it a full fledged knowledge business, you will have to set up your digital factory. Your courses are the products that you will create in this factory. But that is why if you're seriously interested to create a knowledge-based business, a full-time business, a business that has the potential to shift you to WWW lifestyle. And World Wide Web, definitely, because that's where we are going to be doing it. But this WWW means whatever, wherever, whenever, without worrying about affordability. You can run this business from any place in the world. And once you have the digital factory set up, the production can happen on its own on autopilot mode. So gradually you are getting ready to build your business in God mode. But it's not going to happen like overnight or just in a month, right? So there is a preparation stage. And if you are ready to invest your time, money, resources to build this business, you are ready to invest yourself completely to build this business. If you see an opportunity being in this business, then welcome to knowledge digitization and monetization business model with me as your teacher, trainer, coach, consultant, guide, whatever you want to call, right? Because I've walked the path myself. Okay. So now let's look at what are you struggling with right now? What are your challenges? What could be your challenges? Let's look at now. I discussed digitalization so far. So tell me, what are your challenges? What do you think are your challenges right now? I'm going to you can unmute. I will allow you to speak. Let's speak. Let's discuss your challenges. Okay. I'm so sorry. Even I lost track of the time completely. I'm just in that flow. I didn't want to stop. Okay. So I'm just going to let me give some permissions. So I'll just allow participants to unmute themselves and you guys can share. I just want to know, looking at today's content, what is it that you learned today? Okay. And what do you think is your challenge? So there are two types of challenges, an external challenge and an internal challenge. So what is an external challenge? I don't know how to make videos. External challenge. I am camera shy. In internal challenge. Okay. I don't know what are the digital language. I'm tech challenged. As soon as I see some system, I don't know how to work with Excel sheet. I don't know this. External challenge. What is internal challenge? I'm lazy. I procrastinate. I am not focused. I don't have clarity. Internal challenge. Now, some of your challenges are self-created and some of your challenges are really genuine. So I want to understand, with whatever we have discussed today, what are your challenges right now, right? So you can unmute yourself and speak. And I would like to know, how was the session for you? Yes, Karuna, go ahead.
The session was really very informative, very nice, and I have only one external challenge, no internal challenges, that at the age of 52, I do not want to be left behind from knowing the technology so that I can go ahead and be one with the trend.
So good news for you. So we are not in the era that you have to code to be able to do something. You need to do C, C++, Java. You don't need that. Those are tech skills. If you know how to use WhatsApp, if you know how to use a Zoom call, there are tools, new age tools, which have very simple interface, very intuitive interface. It's just that you need someone to show you how to do it.
Yes.
Instead of you learning on your own, if someone is teaching you how to do it, you can master. You can master that, not as a master of that tool.
I understand.
How much you need for your business, for your work, that much. You are not going to become an expert to teach that. You only want to know, how can I send automated emails? How can I upload my courses in the learning management system? How can I edit my courses because I don't have funds to give it to a video editor? All those things. Now, I'm here to help you out, guys. Okay, but all that happens only when you come to next stage with me. At this stage, I'm going to be sharing as much as I can, but the how-to part of everything, I invite you to be part of my next stage. I'm definitely be making an offer. Okay, I am a giver, but giving is not equal to free, right? So that's where I will share as much as I can. And if you're good to go on your own, super. If you think you need to work with a mentor who can fast forward your journey, I definitely welcome all of you into my world. And I will make an offer on Friday on how you can work with me. Till that time, let's understand the whole business model. Let's see whether you really want to do this, because I am going to be giving all of you brutal truth. I am not going to sugarcoat or give you sugar coated cyanide. I can't do that. I just can't do that. And that is my, because I need to show that this is not going to be an easy journey. Okay, personal branding is not easy. Okay, but getting 10 students, 100 students, that is possible. If you want, say, I want 1 lakh student, 1 million student, that is also possible. But again, what is your goal? What is it that you want to do, right? Everything boils down to what you want, right? But all I can help you is with right strategies. Reduce your recurring cost. A lot of things I can do. Okay, so yeah, what has been your takeaway, Karuna?
I've learned that low OPEX and low CAPEX is possible. And being a knowledge giver, I have experienced all that you told me. And yes, but I'm happy that what you said, that everything is possible. So that has given me lots of motivation to go ahead. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much. So, Pratibha is saying that I'm passionate about multiple things. And also, I'm not sure if we will have to have necessary certification for anything that I have learned or experienced. No, thank you so much for asking that question. You don't. Okay, so I am not a certified from any institute, speaker, trainer, coach. I'm not. I'm just sharing my life experiences with you guys. So, do you think you need a certification? Okay, my words matter to you, or my certificates will matter to you?
Words.
My insights, my wisdoms, are you learning from them? What are those certificates? That era is over. Now, even bigger companies are not recruiting people based on their graduation, qualifications, etc. It's all talent based. Everything is shifting in the world, so don't worry about certification. Only when you used to work with corporates, they used to ask for certificates. That era is also over. As long as what you are saying is bringing about a transformation in people's life, you are good to go. Okay, you're good to go. Okay, yes. Yeah, can you guys come on video? Guys, I put so much energy into the session. Okay, I have another session happening at 9 o'clock. So it will be great if you can come on video, talk, share how was the session, how you felt. Okay, it further energizes me to give more. Otherwise, I'm also questioning across so many batches that why am I doing this? I've started questioning why am I doing this? Okay, all right. Shiva, thank you. Thank you so much for coming on video.
Thank you. I really learned a lot, and I had too many, confusion. I didn't have the clarity since I said that, I'm planning to open a restaurant. So I was thinking what menu to keep, what kind of pricing. So I know now, do I have to target a high audience or the middle class? No, there's a lot of clarity. And since you said that our focus should be to have something unique. So instead of including all kind of cuisine, probably I'll go for a state cuisine like Keralite or Punjabi or, some state-wise, so that will stand me apart from the other audiences. Yeah, so just two things I've thought of till now, and the session is going wonderfully well.
Thank you so much. You can also create knowledge sharing videos, which is you can say how we make our products, recipe, kitchen mein kya kaam ho raha hai. So people like to call it the inside story.
Okay.
And that if you put on your website, people will like, oh, okay, this is how they do it. And your best recipes, whatever you do, you can just share. People think, oh, if I share the recipe, then they will learn, they will not buy from me. And nobody has time. They will still come back to you. Okay, they will try once, they will still come back to you.
Yeah.
That's why you nurture, right? All your customers. Once somebody has come, you create your YouTube channel, Shiva, and then keep on sending once in a week. So they remember you, out of sight, out of mind. But if they are in touch with you, they will keep coming back. And then you say, like, please come to our kitchen. Make sure your kitchens are up to the mark. So
Yeah,
you said, please come. See, restaurant business, if they are not coming second time or third time, you will not survive. It's a very simple thing. If people don't watch same movie couple of times, movie don't get hit. Restaurant is exactly same, but you have to nurture, continuously nurture. We have one Gujju lady who supplied food to us. Every day she sends saying, I am preparing dhokla today. I am preparing whatever it is. And she always get 4 or 5 extra orders because she has a 2-3 WhatsApp group. So you have to continuously do that. And again, word has changed. Less people will be dining in, more people will take.
Yeah.
So don't put a lot of money in interior, very big place and all.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Ankur. He's my life partner and business partner. So you get 2 mentors at the price of 1. Okay.
It's great to hear from him too.
Thank you.
Okay. So I think Shubhro is trying to switch on his camera. Shubhro, come on. I saw you. You're trying to get on the camera. Go ahead. What is anyone else who wants to share? So your assignment for today, guys, is making a list of courses that you want to, a list of topics that you want to create courses for, and identifying your external challenge and internal challenge. That's your assignment. Okay. And I will see you tomorrow, and we will cover monetization. We'll look at the market potential. Okay. And we will look at what are the skills you need to acquire tomorrow. Okay. And then day 3, we will be looking at. So today I've covered the GPS system. I have covered the 7P processes. By the end of 3 days, we'll have all the 11 Ps in place. So you know what it is, right? So yeah. So I would love to know what your takeaways has been. So if you guys can also write in the WhatsApp group that what did you learn today, because so many people sharing what they learned. Everyone has a different takeaway. It re-endorses the concept. It helps people revise, because somebody would have learned something which you missed. So I am seeking your participation to share what you learned, your takeaways for today's session, and list of your courses, what you plan to create, and make a list of all your external challenge, make a list of all your internal challenge, and choose the topmost right now. What is the topmost challenge? Number 1. So first you have to list whatever is coming into your mind, 10, 15, 20, write it down. You want to create courses, 15 courses, write it down. No issues. This is called thoughts to paper. First do it, then we will do it right, and then we'll do it better. Right? Okay. So Vandana, you want to share something? You can unmute yourself and speak, Vandana.
Yeah, thank you so much for this wonderful course. I like the content very much, and I think it is good. Basically, I was teaching in Management Institute, and now from past 2 years, I am working as a freelancer trainer, but I want to digitalization, like in that mode I want to go, but I don't know how to start in that, and so that we want some support and guidelines.
Yeah, definitely. So my agenda is helping you do that. So I'm going to be teaching what it takes completely to do this, right? The what, why, and how. Where to start, what is your next stage, what are the budgets involved, what are the systems tool, the whole journey I'm going to show it to you. And see, whatever I'm teaching you is coming from my 14 years of entrepreneurship experience, 24 years of professional life, 46 years of my life on this planet, and last 3 years of when I wanted to share I am not a teacher, trainer, coach, consultant. Okay, not. I mean, I just had a lot of insights which I wanted to share. And I thought probably I should explore public speaking. That's how I ventured in 2017 in public speaking. I did many programs. Since 2012 itself, I've invested close to, until now, till date, I've invested more than 52 lakhs in my learnings. Though I was already a super successful entrepreneur in 2012, but we realized, Ankur and I, that we could reach in business at that stage only with our capabilities and as much we knew. So we thought it is time to learn from people who are ahead of us, at least 10 times, minimum 10 times they're ahead of us, because they will teach us things to what will make us move to next level. And that's how both of us started attending various trainings from worldwide mentors. And when I ventured into public speaking, this whole digital puzzle was a huge growth blocker. Okay. And a lot of costs were involved. So I wanted somebody to set up everything for me, and I simply wanted to deliver my content. Okay, but I ended up learning the entire digital thing last 3 years. I lost time, I lost money, I lost resources, but I will replace the word lost with learn. And I know now why I was made to go through that journey, because I exist to empower many people like me, right? Who are heart oriented, but who don't know what it takes to create good products, what it takes to market them, what it takes to sell them, the entrepreneurial skills, right? So that is why maybe I was getting ready for something big. Okay, so though I was crying and cribbing all the time that why I have to go through this, why I have to do this, why that person took so much money and they didn't teach anything, right? So, but I'm happy that I was at a place where I could learn from the best so that I can share with the rest.
Yeah, true.
Okay. So I'm very happy with that. So I'm really here to empower all of you. So if you see value in working with me, if you see your need ends with me, what you are looking for ends with me, simply get on the bus. Don't think too much, because I deliver results. I am not just one other teacher trainer in the market, coach who is simply giving lip service, because they are only interested in their outcome, not interested in your outcome. I'm interested in your outcome, because your growth really matters to me. Okay, because that's my purpose. Okay, one of my purpose is helping people grow. So my life reflects growth, and I want to help people grow. My only challenge is people don't take actions. And that brings me down. That is very demotivating for me. Okay. So I'm looking for action takers. I am looking for people who can, who are ready to be pushed to take actions. Okay. Not pushed to sales, not for sales, who are pushed to take actions for your own growth. Okay. If you are able to create some good products and if you are earning some good money, you are going to, there is a huge impact of what I am doing. So I'm looking at an impact. I'm in the create impact business. I'm not in the money making business. Okay. So that will be great if you guys can be action takers. Right. So is there anyone who wants to share anything, or I'll see you tomorrow sharp at 7 p.m. Out time is your wish. Do share what are your learnings. Do take actions on the assignments. I will list them in the WhatsApp group. Recording, it will take time because it is more than 2 hours of recording now. 3 hours, I think, 7, 8, 9, 2 hours. So it's going to take some time. I'll upload it and share the link with you guys. And I'll see you tomorrow. All right. Any questions, anything you want to share, please put it in the WhatsApp group. Thank you, everyone. Good night and take care. Bye.